Welcome back to All Things HTLT from Holy Trinity Life Teen. We are here because our faith is a priority and leading teens closer to Christ is our mission. We are striving to be perfect and giving all glory to God on the way. You are welcome to join us on this adventure we call life. Turn up your volume, make sure you're in a perfect place to enjoy this episode of All Things HTLT. When I started high school in 2004, there was 13% of the population used the internet. Only 13% used the internet. Now in 2019, not even counting like the pandemic, 57% of the population used the internet.
You're lying.
What are your thoughts on this? Like the internet dependability?
I'm just shook that number grew so exponentially big.
I think everybody uses it so much and we don't even know how much we're actually using it.
Yeah, I mean,
as Corinne's using the internet right now.
Well, I use the internet to look up when the iPhone came out because that's what would make sense.
When did it come out?
2007, actually. Oh. So if you're thinking about it, I remember when the iPhone came out, like the first one, and a lot of people didn't have it. A lot of just people had the iPods.
Oh yeah.
And then they would use their flip phones.
Walkman? Do you even know what a Walkman is?
I know what it is, but I wasn't around for that.
Yeah,
No.
Okay, a Walkman is like...
No.
Have you ever seen like the old movies where it's like you have a CD player that like attaches on?
Yeah.
And have headphones?
Is it
That's
that?
a Walkman, yeah.
It's like
so just a portable
like a
CD player then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so, okay.
Oh my gosh. Wait, go ahead.
But it would make sense why that number grew so much because the iPhone became so popular after, I would say give it 3 years, 2010.
Yeah, I don't even remember getting... Yeah, I remember about getting the iPhone. Everybody starting to get the iPhone like 2009, 2010.
Yeah, and I was a freshman in high school in 2010. Yeah, 2010, and I got my first iPhone junior year. So I still, it was 2013 when I first got mine.
Oh, wow.
Because for my parents, it was like, internet? No, you have a computer at home.
Exactly.
If you needed it, you wait until then or go to the computer at school.
When did you guys what was your computer? What was the computer actually at your house?
It was like the first MacBook that came out, but it was super heavy. It was like thick. It had to say at least 4 inches thick. And it was like the dinosaur one, like the hefty.
It was a laptop or a
computer?
computer?
The laptop.
It was a laptop.
I was like, laptop.
Oh, I didn't have the desktop one of it. No.
Is that like the white one that you have during meetings? Is that one of the first ones, or is that
Wait,
you have a white MacBook?
The one that you used to use.
Yeah, the one that you used to have.
Oh no, that was probably like 2000. That was with Teresa Duran. That was like 2000.
That's like ancient. That laptop.
Is it really?
That's so old compared to the new ones.
What was your first computer?
I remember my mom and dad got the first computer. It was like a Mac, but it was the colored one. It was the at home.
Yeah.
And it looked like the TV.
Yeah.
It was like,
Oh,
I don't know how to describe it.
It looked like it had a dome in the back, kind of.
Yeah. And then we got a Dell computer. Oh, yeah. And we had the tower and the
monitor?
Like the monitor and the tower. And then after that, my brother got his first laptop when he went to college. And I used his. And I used the Dell until
crazy
I got my first computer in college.
Wait, were you on dial-up with your computer? You weren't on dial-up?
I don't think so.
Do you guys know what dial-up is?
I think my aunt has dial-up
where
still.
Your internet is attached to your phone.
Yeah.
So it's like if you went on, I wish I could pull up the sound. If anybody's listening to this and knows dial-up, instantly the sound. It's like,
oh, that's a lovely sound.
It's a really ugly and you would hear it if you picked up the phone. And so you couldn't be on the phone and be
on the computer.
Yeah. My first computer, that I remember is the 1995 Macintosh. It was
what?
It was old.
What's a Macintosh?
It took
Jenna, just take the first 3 letters.
Oh, is it
Mac.
like the... Oh.
It was like this huge computer. like monster computer, and it would take forever to get on and everything like that. But it's like now everybody has a computer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everybody has their phone, and everybody, you know, spends numerous amounts of time on it. And so that's what I wanted to do next. So you guys have your phones, right?
Oh my gosh.
I kinda
Don't tell
wanted
me
I
to
was
to
on
go
my
on
phone
it.
all day.
Don't tell me
I
to
wanted
go on it.
to be a little bit vulnerable, and
No,
No.
don't do it. Don't do it.
oh my goodness.
Don't do it.
So everybody pull out your phones. Let me see. Even those that are listening, you can
Are we
pull out your
doing
phones.
screen time?
Yeah.
No, don't do
Yes.
screen time. Don't do screen time. I do a different one.
don't even know how to
go
do
to
that.
battery. So settings,
Okay.
and then go to battery. If you have an Android, I'm sorry.
Wait,
just
where's
pay
the
attention,
battery on?
and
Oh, found it.
it's down low.
Oh.
So you can go down to 24 hours, and it'll show you your activity. And then you can click on show activity, and it'll tell you in the last 24 hours how much time you spent on each little thing. So
Oh, geez.
what do you guys like internet wise? So let's talk like something small, internet.
Okay.
Do you have any time on the weather?
No.
No.
As of right now, no.
Okay. How about let's jump up how about social media? Count all of your social media.
Like time
wise.
I don't know if I could add that big a number.
Oh
No,
my
I'm kidding.
goodness.
I'm kidding.
So my total
time-wise.
social media and podcasts include podcasts
Does
is
YouTube count?
YouTube does count. My total for the last 24 hours is probably about 2 hours, maybe a little under 2 hours.
I think mine doubled yours.
Yeah, I'm on like 4 hours. If I count like YouTube,
On social media, not internet, just
I would-
social media.
if I count
I would-
YouTube, it's like
what was
4
yours?
hours. If it's just like Instagram, like Snapchat, and
Yeah.
like stuff like that,
Mine's
it's like an hour.
It's like an hour.
Mine's pretty big.
What's yours?
Well, most of it's on TikTok,
Are
but
you kidding?
I would round it to at least 6 hours.
6 hours today? No, for the last 24 hours.
Are we
the
looking
la-
on
yeah.
on-screen or background? Because there's a difference on my
Oh,
phone.
yeah.
And
Oh,
my
really?
on-screen
Mhm.
for Snapchat was only 26 minutes, and my in background was an hour and 33 minutes.
Oh my
So
gosh.
I'm gonna do
Oh, wait,
on-screen.
Okay.
That is true.
Wait, what's your total current?
Let me
Oh,
change
yeah, that's-
mine.
My
on social
total
media?
on-screen.
On screen.
Oh, now I have to figure that out.
I need to calculate
So my-
mine on screen.
So I actually spend a lot of time. I spend almost 3 hours on like Safari, like the
Wait, why?
I'm-
It's on Safari.
The reason why is I was watching news like that was going on. So I don't have cable, so I'm like
Oh,
I was
you
just kind of
don't.
watching, yeah. So
Oh,
I was just
okay.
watching news last night, literally for like an hour.
I have 6 minutes on Postmates because last night I got really hungry and I didn't get anything.
Corinne, what's your
Oh.
total?
So for social media, I have
Roughly.
like 3.5 hours.
See, I don't know whether to react to say like, oh, okay,
Mine went
like,
down. Mine's at 4 hours now.
oh, okay.
Yeah, this morning it told me that I went down this week.
And you
Oh.
slept for how long did you guys sleep last night? So
I
take
went to
that
bed-
out of the
Well,
equation.
I went to bed late last night, so like last night's time percentages are also calculated in because I
It's past 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same with me.
So think
Because I went to
about-
bed at 12.
Yeah, I
Like
went to-
12:30.
me too.
So
So how often do you guys think, like, is there a day other than retreats aside, is there a day that you don't use the internet?
No,
No.
no, it depends on what I'm doing.
Why?
Because I found myself, like one day I redid my room. So one day I wasn't on my phone,
Mm.
you know, like I'm doing stuff physically instead of just like sitting there scrolling.
Yeah.
And then this week my sister was home. So we went to the beach for a couple hours each day. And so it kind of kept me away from
Did
my
you take
phone.
pictures at the beach?
Yeah, of course.
Did you load them up on a social media of any sort?
The gram.
Snapchat?
No, but it's coming soon.
Oh, there's still editing process?
Well, no, see, I'm like Corinne. Like, I went to a one-day trip on the Sequoias this past Monday, and I had no service, so I was forced not to use the internet. But see, it felt really nice not to. But as soon as I got down the mountain, well, as soon as I was like hit 1 o'clock, I was like itching to like, okay, I want to get back on the internet. Like, what's everyone up to? Like, I just need to keep busy, so I'm not on it.
Ooh, that's like keep busy.
Like-
What do you mean? Talk
like
to me about
I need
that.
to do an activity when I was going to school last fall. I was so busy like with going to class and going to library to study and like driving home and like eating lunch and stuff where I only used my phone to like text my mom or text my friends. I didn't go on social media till it was at least 9:00 at night.
Look at how our culture kind of is like the moment we have downtime, what do we do?
Yeah.
We go right on the internet, you know, we go on and kind of search. I don't know. Christian, what about you?
Okay, so for me, I was on my phone a good amount yesterday because like my brothers like love the superhero stuff, and like it was like a big like thing where like they were releasing a whole bunch of trailers. So we were like keeping each other updated on like what was happening.
I saw that trailer.
So like there was a Batman trailer that released yesterday.
Wonder Woman.
Like, yeah, there was a Wonder Woman trailer. So that's one of the reasons why why my YouTube was like 2 hours. So I was just like watching stuff on that. But like for me, it's just like a matter of just staying busy. Like I personally don't like being on my phone that much, but like I'm on it constantly.
Do you ever leave your phone Do you guys ever leave your phone like purposely, like and go for a drive, or just leave it at home, like if you're going for a walk?
If I don't take my phone with me, because I keep my parents updated like on where I am.
Yeah.
Just
so do you think they would like be scared?
No, yeah,
they would.
Yeah, especially now because of like Corona and stuff like that. They would be like, "Where are you? Are you getting infected?"
Okay,
no.
well, let's talk pre-Corona, like before March.
They'd still want me to keep them updated.
Yeah. Okay,
but like I don't really mind. It's like I'd rather let them know where I am, so that if anything like does happen.
Okay,
like,
parents aside, like
if I was like living alone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd do whatever I want. I'd like go on a drive, or I'd go up camping, or like just to get that distance. I feel like around here, since we live like so close to like a city and so close to just like a hub.
Why is that
like where there's so many?
That's what I want.
Because like there's so many people in such a close vicinity, but it feels like we still need to know what's going on in like each other's lives in a sense. You know what I mean?
I feel like we're so connected, and yet we're so disconnected.
Yeah.
That's what
we'll
I was
talk
gonna
about
say.
it.
I was like, physically we are so close to one another, but like mentally and emotionally we're so distant.
Why? Like, what do you mean by that? Talk me through that.
Well, even okay, so I'm on social media. I'm watching like influencers, as a lot of females do.
Drop some
names. I'm not. But
Come
like,
on.
they're a little bit like smaller. They're YouTubers or fashion influencers, and they're all like based out in LA, and some of them moved to LA, and I still want to see what they're doing. But I'm the one from LA. Like, I'm the one from here. Like, the traditional California SoCal girl. Yeah. And I'm over here looking to them for inspiration. And it's like,
what to do today.
Yeah.
And like,
but this has been my life. Like, why do I need that?
Yeah. So that's so interesting, is like, we always kind of say like, oh, like I'll go camping, or I'll go this place, and that's when I'll let go of my phone, or like I won't use when we're forced almost. You know, like Jenna is, you know, going to Sequoias and
I was forced
to not have the internet, and it's like I feel as though, and correct me if I'm wrong here, does the internet help or hurt, or do both?
Both.
It does
100%.
both.
Talk to me. Why?
I think it allows us to be able to just like
actually
let's
just talk about the good. Like, what is good about the internet? Okay, not social media wise. What can we do that with the internet? I mean, yeah,
it gives us all the knowledge that we want. Like
Wikipedia.
Yeah, Wikipedia.
Dropping bombs.
We can
inform
ourselves, politics, environment, like anything.
If you wanted to see a video of somebody.
Yeah, it's so fast. It's so accessible where you could just like type it in real quick, like cats.
You want the
video.
news, cat videos,
and then just pops up
knowledge.
like 50 million.
I mean, if you wanted like something that we haven't even talked about, but maps, like we wanted to learn how to drive to this restaurant or something.
So easy.
For me growing up, it was map questing. Did you have map quest? Like we had to map quest it.
Or my grandma had the book.
Or it was like
goodness gracious.
And you would have to memorize. Like you would have to memorize like, oh, you have to take a left on Hawthorne and
my mom wrote down, I remember I would be the passenger seat. She'd be like, okay, here's a list of directions. You have to tell me where I'm turning next. She would write down every turn, every street, how many miles, and she's like, you're in charge, you have to tell me. And I'm like, okay, turn left here, and 6 miles, turn right here. Like, we did not have like the maps like on our phones.
So it's like we have so many good things. Like the phone can provide, for boredom, we have like infinite,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
like cat
we do.
videos. You have whatever. You have infinite amounts of time that you can kind of spend on your phone. Okay, so what are things do you think that might be a little bit
Harming?
harmful? Yeah.
Oh gosh.
I mean, obviously, there's like the things that the content wise, like, but besides content and things, what do you think?
I think just like maybe like looking at people and being like, oh, how do they have that and I don't? Kind of like that kind of sense of like greed, I guess you could say,
Yeah.
Yeah.
or like desire.
this envy.
Yeah, envy. That's what it is. So just
Yeah.
like that kind of desire of just like, oh, how do they have that and I don't? And just kind of the feeling that it might like put you down in a sense of just like, gosh.
I think that's huge of part of like material objects.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's like,
100%.
and then even aside from that is like travel. It's like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
they're going places and I'm not. And then the biggest one, at least that I've seen, is like personal self-image.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, okay, talk me through why.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I'm talking a lot. You guys take it away.
I think I agree with Christian with the envious part, because people, especially like now with like the society and generation that we live in, like people can become envious to a point where they start altering and changing their persona and who they are to copy and be exactly like the person that they're looking at that has like, I don't know, 6 million followers on whatever like platform. They're like, oh, they dyed their hair that color, I'm gonna dye my hair that color. Or they have that purse, I'm gonna get that purse. I'm gonna waste all my money on that. And like you get lost in this almost like cycle of just like warping yourself to be that person, trying to become something that you aren't. And I think that also has to do with like the self-image that you were saying. Like now with social media, there's so many influencers. Like everyone wants to be an influencer on Instagram or TikTok and have this many followers and get paid and be so young and so wealthy. But like the downside with that is like you don't see how harming it can be on people with their mental health, and how many people want to drag you down and say so many negative, rude things to you. Like,
I mean, like, and that's the thing too, is like, let's say we have 1,000 friends, like most people will have like 200 to 1,000, something in between, the average or whatever. I don't know what the average is, but I'll look it up. But it's like that we have that average amount, and then we still have problems with like gossip, like people posting things about us, and us like keeping up with the Joneses with 1,000. Amplify that by 6 million.
It's like it becomes so, I understand why it becomes so overwhelming for like these popular like celebrities and people, like where they're just like, I need to get away, like I'm quitting social media, or like I'm quitting whatever, because like it does, like for me, even like just being like me and like San Pedro, like it, all the gossip and stuff comes overwhelming. So I can only imagine what it's like having 20 million people and having your life under a telescope, being under examined every time, and everybody watching every little saying or action that you do.
I feel like for the influencers thing, it's also a matter of just like how much you let that affect you. You know what I mean? And who exactly you're following too. Because like the people who I kind of look up to, like more like celebrity wise, like they don't have social media.
Like who?
Dave Chappelle.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's a comedian, and
I'm pretty sure everybody knows who Dave Chappelle is.
Well, like he's like believe it or not, he's actually like very interesting, and like when he does like speak seriously about like different topics, and about how he actually does talk about it a few times, like just like about how like letting people, like in today's time, people's moral compasses are so like confused, and like when they're like that, that's when they're most likely to be like taken control of and like be like taken advantage of, because they don't know, they look at things in a matter of better and worse and not right and wrong.
I think that has a huge way of like within, when it comes to the news, like when it comes to like the media that we are kind of given through the internet, is like we're kind of shaped by what we see because it's right in front of us, and it's like if somebody has, it's the same thing for like social media. If somebody takes a picture of one sunset in San Pedro, everybody's gonna be like, man, San Pedro's amazing, it's beautiful. And then you go down and there's like, you go into a bad neighborhood and it's like, okay, well,
they're like, they didn't show me this in that picture.
Exactly.
Like,
and it's the same thing as like the news will show a snapshot of maybe one small thing or what have you, and try to send that, because we're so, another thing I want to talk about is the fragmented of like our we don't watch something all the way through. I feel like it's like, I mean, look at TikTok. How many scrolls, you know? Like that's what would be cool is like how many things have you scrolled past or whatever on TikTok or Instagram or whatever. But it's like the same thing. It's like our moral compass is like it derives from what we are spending the most time with. And I think we're spending so much time on social media.
I think it's weird because it's like we're creating our own worst enemy in that. Because we're allowing ourselves to like be affected by like these different influencers and these different people that we don't even know.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of it's weird to think about how like we can let like certain people affect us or certain like news affect us when in reality we don't have the full story because like we weren't there.
Yeah.
And I think so. It's like, what are we plugging ourselves into?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, who are we? You know, there's that saying, you know, it's like you are the 4 people or 5 people that you surround yourself with, you know? And it's like, maybe those 5 people aren't necessarily physically here. You know, it's like maybe one of those people is somebody that you're following. I mean, and that you're just following up with their life, where you know so much about their life. You know sometimes more about their life than you do about a good friend's life because, you know, or so you think, you know. I think the internet is a pretty powerful thing. Like it does really good things. I mean, we couldn't do what we do with it.
It's kind of like that thing where it's like you're a byproduct of your environment. It's like the internet gives you like a different environment to surround yourself in. So that kind of like helps to dictate what type of person you're going to be in a sense.
Yeah.
But I also think that could be like a positive.
No, yeah.
Yeah, how?
You know, like you have people that struggle with like mental health issues and just like feeling lonely, and especially in like this corona time. I think we all turned to social media for that reason because we were losing like physical interaction. And so all we had was to see what other people were doing. And even to the point of like, okay, they're struggling too with this, so I'm not by myself. Like, you always think your friends are doing something outrageous and you're sitting on the couch, when in reality everybody was sitting on the couch. Everybody was trying to figure out what they were supposed to do. Everybody was avoiding going outside, you know.
So it's like a solidarity
kind of. You know, you feel like you're a part, like you're not crazy or you're not being left out. And that's a positive and a negative. I can see that going really, you know, because it shouldn't matter what other people are doing. Because just like you said, like vacation wise, once Corona's over, you know, once life kind of goes back to normal, I imagine people, you know, adventuring out. And then some people don't have the finances for that. You know, some people lost their job during Corona. Some people just, you know, they don't have the funds to go travel and do that kind of stuff.
And then it's that cycle.
And it's the highlight reel. And that's the problem with social media. You know, you have this highlight reel and a lot of influencers are showing that. And I hate the word influencer, but I'm using it for that reason because they're really not influencing you to do anything. They're influencing you to do what? You know, to buy a green juice, to go to like get a coffee, like what are you influencing me to do? Telling me that I have to do, you know, have to get up and journal, like, and that might be a helpful thing to me, and I might not have thought of that before, like, following this person, but then you also have that aspect of, like, oh, I didn't journal today, and, like, you know, like, then you're hard on yourself because this person did, and they're showing you that, and it's like, if that works for you, works for you. You know? So
how much, I'm going to lead into, we got to go into a quick break, but how much time spent on social media is the perfect time for you each day? That's the question I'm going to ask. How much time for you a day would be like your cap? Like, this is not too much, not too little, it's just right. So how much time? So we are going to go for a quick break. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Go do it right now. All right, Jenna, what did you have to say?
Okay, so funny story actually. I was on TikTok today, and I saw this video where, like, oh, you say that I'm your best friend, you say that I'm your friend, then tell me, like, it was actually like, it was personal questions, like, tell me what I love about nature, or tell me something that I think is really toxic trait that people have. It was like these deep personal questions, and I was thinking, I was like, can I say this, that I know these questions about my friends? Can my friends say they know these questions about me? And I think we think we know someone based off of their social media profile. Like, oh, like they're Catholic, like they go here to school, they're this age, like looks like they like to do workouts, they like to eat this, like to eat that. Like you get like you claim to know them based off their Instagram, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's like, okay, I call this person my best friend. What is their most memorable moment? What is their worst time that they ever been through? Like, how did they conquer that? And I think that's also another way, in a sense, that social media can be harming, but it could be helpful in a sense too, where you want to get to know someone and you don't know how to reach out to them. So you look to their profile to see like similarities you might have and DM them like, hey, I really, I saw this highlight reel, like where did you get that food? Or let's hang out, like, let's go do this workout there. What book is that? Like, tell me what's it about? Like,
So like creating a conversation.
Yeah.
Like, instead of just seeing something and then saying like, okay, that's them.
Yeah.
You know, or, yeah. I mean, I think it's so impactful to kind of like get down into it with friends, like with people that you know, and that's something that we can talk about too, is like how is it that we could grow deeper in, because I think like when it comes to social media, it's all surfacey.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know? And then some people you'll see kind of like break through the cracks of kind of like sharing a little bit about something deep they went through and things like that. But like when you get down to it, it's a lot of surface stuff.
Oh,
So, okay, going back to the question, how much time do you think for yourself is a healthy time to spend on social media? And when I say social media, this is for everybody. TikTok, Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
YouTube?
MySpace.
MySpace.
YouTube. No, let's not talk YouTube.
It's weird for Snapchat because that's like mainly how I keep in contact with some of my friends. Like that's like how we text. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Why
just
is
'cause,
that?
I hate
I have
texting
no
on
idea.
Snapchat. I hate it.
Yeah, talk to me through that, because I was after this.
Honestly, I have no idea.
So
I barely even like
easier-
texting as is, because like I get very like I'm like a dry texter. Like I really don't know like what to say. I'm like a very much in person like
okay.
communicator. Yeah. Yes. What's
No.
next? Yeah. That's like it for me. But yeah, like I don't, but like that's one of the main ways that like I keep in contact with my friends, or like we'll like organize stuff, and it's like, oh, like you guys want to go grab a bite to eat later, or like what do you want to do?
Really? Through Snapchat?
Yeah.
So what happens if you have to have like, if somebody's going through something, like they send a Snapchat, it's like, I'm sad. You say, what's
Okay.
wrong?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
Wait, what?
Well, like if it's something serious, usually I'll get like a text.
Oh.
I don't know.
Okay.
Snapchat just seems to be like more like casual discussion, at least for me.
So surfacey.
Yeah, like surface, just kind of like oh, like what's going on, or like what are we gonna do today?
Which I hate texting on Snapchat. I think it's so annoying when someone texts me on Snapchat. I leave them on open and I text them in their text messages. I'm like, dude, if you want to contact me, actually text me or call me. Do not try to DM me on Instagram or social media, because it's so surfacey. Like, oh, like, hey, Jenna, like, what's up? Like, it doesn't seem genuine to me almost.
Corinne, you're shaking your head.
I think it just depends on the way that you like convey it.
So why I'm shaking my head is because I think Mel posted it on her Instagram, and it was something about relationships, like right now, like right now's age. I don't know,
Oh.
like
Yeah.
what is it, Gen
Talking?
Z?
Oh, Gen Z.
Whatever. And one of the points was, it's so interesting because this generation, you want to care the least. It's all about caring the least.
Oh,
And I
yeah.
think that's where
That's
it
true.
comes from, like social or Snapchat in general. It's like I can put a picture out there, feel it out. If I don't get a response, then it's nothing on me. It's nothing on the person. I just know where they stand instead of texting it, being permanent text, because Snapchat's like text messages are not technically permanent unless you save them.
it. Yeah.
And so you can have a full conversation that can be deleted. And that's the most like casual, sneakiest, the most trouble is on Snapchat, 100%. And I think that's what it comes down to. Like this idea of caring less is like key.
The options there. The options
people
there.
are so scared of vulnerability.
Oh,
yeah.
100%.
And I think it's like this vulnerability. We are in the future. So if you're listening to this, we're going to be having like something. It's a couple different podcasts called The Hookup Culture. Also talking about dating now, and like stuff like that. So, but the main thing is like vulnerability. Like people don't get vulnerable, and they don't want to put themselves out there because they're scared.
Afraid of rejection.
Their fear of rejection, their fear of being like a failure,
being hurt, of being too open, and someone hurts you back.
But I think that also stems from like, I think Jenna said it, like you're creating who you are through these social media like
lenses.
But not even lenses. You're seeing all these different influencers, seeing people that or actors or actresses, and seeing how you want to be. So you're not even okay with being vulnerable because you don't know who you are.
Yeah.
Like you're still deciding, like, oh, am I gonna be like
am I gonna be this
like a
person
girly
today?
girl?
Yeah.
Am I gonna be a bro girl? Like what is it, bro girl, whatever?
Girl, like
Tomboy
sad girl, stuff like that.
It's all
okay.
these, and there's nothing wrong with trying to find yourself. I totally understand that. I think right now it's just hard because the highlight reel is on.
Can you find yourself in social media?
I don't think so, but that's not what I'm saying. You have a spotlight of having to put or feeling like you have to put who you are on social media when you don't even know who you are.
Yeah.
And that's also comes from relationships. I think or relationships in Snapchat.
Should everybody be on social media?
No. I don't even.
age?
If I have kids, I don't want my kids on social media.
I know we were supposed to go back to this question of like what's a healthy time, and I know you guys are avoiding this at all costs. But what age? If like let's say for all social media, we're not going to say just Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. What's an age?
But
to be off of
so
it?
I
Because
had
think
this
about-
conversation with my mom and my sister the other day, and my mom asked the same question. And realistically, I'm not gonna have kids within the next I'm gonna say 5. I'm gonna give myself 5 to 10 years.
You hear that, everybody out
Okay.
there? So.
Oh,
But I'm just
gosh.
saying,
putting Corinne out there.
realistically, like that's where I see having a child.
Sure.
Okay, and then add another 10 years to that because I'm not gonna give my kid social media before, let's say 9. Okay, I was thinking 8 is 2nd grade, 9 3rd grade, 4th grade is like reasonable, maybe.
Benchmark.
Okay, just think about it. But that's 20 years plus down the road. How is social media going to be?
Change, yeah.
Is it going to be the same hype, or is there going to be something else that's new that they're going to be wanting? Because when social media and Instagram first came out, I was a junior in high school posting raspberries
It was
as
so
my
casual,
picture, I was
though.
posting raspberries.
Yeah.
I had to archive and delete that picture, guys.
Oh yeah.
And
I have
that's
those.
just a whole nother, that's 10 years down the road.
What
So
it's
I can
now,
only
it's
imagine.
Make sure you have the right filter.
I
what
know.
you're
100%.
posting.
Caption.
But the
I haven't
picture
post- I haven't
quality is
posted on my
also
Instagram.
completely different
Oh,
too. And you're like, whoa, okay.
I haven't posted on my Instagram in like 2 years, a year and a half.
So if you had kids right now, what age would you allow them right now in this culture? What age would you allow them to have social media? Let's see how controversial we can
13.
be.
Junior year of high school.
33.
No, 13. They
13?
would be
8th grade.
8th grade. Yeah, 8th grade.
I
Eighth
could
grade?
see that.
Because that's when I first got social media. It was like
Now, would
8th
you?
grade.
And here's controversial. Would you be monitoring it as a parent? or would you just let it ride?
I would
Let 'em
follow
do-
them because my mom and my mom's friends follow me. So I think like I would follow my kid, cause like I would want to be the protective mom where like if my daughter
Ooh, protective
posted, if
over
my
here.
daughter or son posted something where I was just like, no, like no,
You
mm-mm.
dumb.
Yeah, no, like take that down right now, okay? Or else you're gonna be grounded. Like I think I would follow them and very much.
But that's the thing. It's
do
like
that.
we're giving a 13-year-old like, and I don't want to get into like the politics of everything, but we're
Yeah.
giving a 13-year-old like think about what's happening in the world right now.
Mhm.
Somebody when they were 12 or 10
Yeah.
or whatever post something was I don't know,
Being
like in their yearbooks, you know, whatever.
No, yeah. That's what I
And
was
then
just about to
now
say.
they're 50 years older, and it's like they're being
Backstabbing
held
them.
accountable
Mhm.
by that. You
That's
know?
one of the things that I appreciate that my parents did for me is that they were very much like you really need to think before you post anything.
That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
my
That's
mom
what
did
that's
to
what they
me.
like instilled and everything because like for me like I want to be a fireman. They're gonna do a very intense background check for that.
Absolutely, yeah.
And like you just and like even some of the firemen that I've talked to, they're like yeah, like I'm glad I didn't have social media.
Oh,
Because, like,
absolutely.
because,
You're
like,
putting yourself
yeah.
out there to the world, and
Yeah.
like, and not the world right now, but the world 20 years down the
Yeah.
line, 10 years down the line. And so it's kind of like, what kind of character do you want to show?
And like
Because-
nothing's ever deleted. Because if you delete something, they can pull it right back
Oh,
up and like,
yeah.
oh yeah, look at this deleted post you did.
and that you know that's so dangerous.
yeah,
you know, it's
I
like-
know. Oh,
I don't know. So what age would you say? Corinne?
13.
Say
So-
13.
Yeah.
You'd say
I
13.
think 13's good. But I you just need to be like you cannot be done with this.
I would say
You need to-
16.
I would say that it depends on the child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And the maturity.
I agree.
And then, and then
Yeah.
I think
But
average
I-
would be like 13.
I would say 16. And the reason why is because I would want to, and this is just like me kind of being a little bit selfish for them. I would want to give them the opportunity to find themselves without it for a couple years in college or high school. So the first 2 years, freshman, sophomore, and then have something like an incentive to kind of get on it, you know, because then they can mold themselves not around things that are on it. I don't know. So that's
You need to
But I think-
teach them how to use it as a tool and not
Exactly.
as a way of like future
But
like destruction of
13
yourself.
I work like if any edgers, and I know everybody pretty much that is in Life Teen Hit came through Edge and everything. And like I'm thinking 8th graders, like them giving Snapchat and things along these lines. I'm like, ay.
I know,
you
but 16, okay, like 16 you're in a what, sophomore?
I would say a sophomore,
High
ending
school?
sophomore year.
Yeah,
So,
like I think that's just me talking my opinion. I think that's too late in the game, sort of say.
Yeah.
Because
For
if
what?
you don't
what
if
are
they
you
don't
gonna
have,
miss
okay,
out on?
if they don't have social media at that age, they're going to be looking to their friends' social media and to find their identity in them through their social media. Like, oh, you posted me here. Like, who commented? Who liked on it? Like, did it get a lot of likes? Did I look good in it? Like, make sure I look good. So, like, you know, when everybody sees me, they ask, oh, who's your friend? You know,
Isn't that just a sad reality that we live in though?
but it's like,
Or they're going to
the
go behind
truth.
your back.
Yeah.
Or they'll go behind my
Parental
back. Yeah.
control.
But
Like,
then that
sorry.
goes on the parenting, the character, you know, the parents and the
Mhm.
character of the teens. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's an interesting conversation
think
to have.
You would have to have a conversation with
Oh,
your
yeah.
child.
Oh, absolutely. You couldn't
Like-
just say nope, not till 16.
Yeah. You would have to
And
explain yourself.
And I think that's changing, like the now kind of like, when I was growing up too, is like my parents always told me the why too of why no, you know, instead of like, and I hear of a lot of people that just get told no, you know, and it's like, even I tell my kids like, no. And they're young. I'm like trying to tell, no, you will die. You know, it's like, they don't understand, but, like teaching them the whys of
Yeah.
like why you can't have social media, why you can't date until you're 30, why. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
30.
No,
Okay.
I was like, nobody
whoa.
caught that. You guys were all.
Whoa.
Jason's like, you'll get hurt.
But I can also see why you said 16 because of the dangers that are also on social media.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I can see like from that viewpoint.
and the huge dangers, and that's something that I even wanted to kind of bring up, is addiction. Like,
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, I don't know how we would kind of like, I don't know, maybe there's like a psychologist that could better kind of figure it out, but it's like are we addicted to social media? Like
100%.
Are we losing concentration? Like,
Oh, yes.
Are we losing
Yes.
focus?
Mhm.
Are we losing
Empathy.
empathy?
Yeah.
Are we losing creative thinking? Like, because we're not thinking for ourselves, you know? It's like all of these little things is like, are we losing something? And that's why I'm like, kids are growing so much with it, like during their freshman, sophomore year, most especially. I just want to let them be free, you know?
Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
can see that.
The thing is that like if you don't have like social media like freshman year, people are gonna be like, "What?"
They're gonna look at
Who
you
are
like
you?
you're not cool.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to be your friend.
Yeah,
Then
there
you're
was
like,
there was a police officer that came here and he was talking to HTS students and everything. And he's like, my son. I didn't give any of my sons. He had, I think it was like 3 or 4 boys. And he's like, I didn't give any of my sons social media until they were out of high school completely.
are you
Yeah.
really?
So this was last year. And he's like
wow.
and the biggest things that parents or that people say is, I won't have enough friends. I won't do X, Y, and Z. I won't know what's going on. He's like, my son was prom king. My son went to a D1 school for football. My son, and my other son is going into water polo or like a D2 school for, it's like all of these different things. He's like, so we have this false kind of, notion of kind of like we're gonna lose out on something, like we're gonna be behind socially. you
Well, I
know?
mean, think about it like this: like if they were on social media, would they have been D1? Would they have been like going to do all these things?
Time
Or-
management.
Time management, yeah. And that's too, it's like the focus and concentration. How many times, I mean, if you had your phone right next to you, like while you were doing work, like while you were in school or whatever, is like how many times do you look at social media or kind of like flip on? I know, Corinne, you talked a little bit about you try to push everything aside.
But I catch myself even like yesterday. I was watching something on YouTube, and I'm on my phone, and I'm like, okay, we need to stop one of them. Like we need to figure it out, and that's like internal. And I'm 24. Like
Yeah.
I can only imagine going to school right now at home
Oh,
and all the
It's the worst.
distractions.
It's the worst.
And
Corinne.
having your phone and then having a parent there trying to talk to you and being in your room and you're like, I could probably clean it. And you're like trying to do something else other than schoolwork. And you're like, I love to clean my room.
Oh,
You know?
really? Oh.
No, but like,
Yeah.
no, just
Yeah.
making any
Oh, sure,
excuses. Like,
sure.
I'll do the dishes. And you're like, I just don't want to go.
Well, that's what I
Schoolwork,
did the other
you know?
day. I was on my bed. I was watching Hulu on my TV, and I was still on Instagram on my phone. And I'm like, wait. I need to stop. I need to clean my room. I need to do something. I just couldn't
Paint your nails.
Yeah, I was like, I
So you
couldn't
can't
sit
use
there
them.
any longer. Like,
isn't that crazy? Like our
to
focus and our
watch it.
concentration is so fragmented that we
Yeah.
can't like, and that's why even bringing this to the spiritual realm of things is like, it's so hard for us to like sit still, you know?
yeah.
The biggest question I get right before we go into adoration is, how long is this going to be?
mhm.
How long is this going to be? Like, people are so afraid of being still and being with themselves, like, and not having anything to do, like, and you can see it if you're ever kind of, don't do this because enter in, but if you go to adoration, you'll see people, they'll be going to the bathroom, they'll be kind of getting up and shifting around, they'll
Like
be
fidgety,
like,
or
yeah,
like-
and they're just kind of like, but there's always a certain, and that's what we kind of look for as like the leaders, is like, what's the best time to spend, you know? Because yes, it would be awesome if they would spend 4 hours, 5 hours in adoration,
Yeah.
but that's not reality, you know? It's like sometimes it's an hour, sometimes we can push it to 2 hours. It just depends on the group, you know? But it's the same thing with prayers. Like, how can we sit still? You know, it's like with our focus and everything is I know for me, I struggled with this. I am no saint. Like I said, I am on Instagram, I'm on YouTube. I watch David Blaine is my, I don't know, you guys,
Oh,
the
yeah.
magician.
Yeah, he's so cool.
Oh, he's
when
so
he-
good. But it's like, and that was just today. Like, I was like, oh, Stacy, come on. We got to watch this David Blaine. He's getting Jamie Foxx or something like that. But it's like, and it's so fragmented into all these little things. But it's like being able to kind of take that time to like slow everything down, push all the distractions aside, like, is so key. I don't know. For you guys, and what that goes with is like a balance, a certain sense of a balance. How do you balance social media? How do you balance internet usage?
I limit
in
my
general?
time on social media to 2 hours a day.
And do you ever go over that 2 hours? Because it said 4 hours. Didn't
All
it?
right, so
she's trying.
The truth
That's
is gonna
true.
come out right now. I click ignore limit every day. I don't click
Do you
it though.
ignore limit for the day or the 15-minute?
Day.
Be quiet, Carmen.
I do the day. I'm answering for myself. I do the day.
Well, okay, sometimes I don't click it till at least 9 p.m. because I'm at work for a good part of the afternoon. So I'm not on my phone at work, which I'm like, okay, good. Break from social media. But yeah, I've been clicking for the day every day now.
But aren't you so proud of yourself when you go to like 10 p.m. and you're like, oh, it just came up? Like,
Oh, really?
Yes,
and
I
it's
know.
at like 10 a.m. and you're like, yes.
Yes.
Oh my
I
god.
can
I
so
did
happy.
so well today.
Mhm.
I
No,
I
I
do a
feel
little
that.
mini party for myself.
And then you just
Crystal,
click
you do this
ignore
too?
limit for the rest of the
Yeah.
day.
I'll just click
Like,
it.
I'll just
I'll put my phone on like do not disturb, just so that like if I do get like a note, like so that I won't like feel if I get like a notification or anything.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
cannot do not disturb. If I do that, my mom texts me. She'll kill me if I don't respond.
I do it at night. I just
Oh,
put
I
it on.
can't do
too.
it
Oh, I
at
have the
night.
bedtime mode for when I
Yeah.
go to when it's like night,
Mm.
so that like I don't get anything and I could just like
Yeah.
I can't even do it at night either.
I'm like, I don't know. The only thing, like, for me, the fear is like something happening.
well,
Yeah,
calls still go
that's
through.
how
Calls
I
still go
am.
through. with
If
Do
you
Not
call,
Disturb.
yeah, if you have to call
But
3
text
times, I think.
messages
Yeah.
I think
don't.
it's like 3 times, yeah.
Text messages don't go through.
Yeah,
for
but
it.
if somebody really needed something at 3 a.m. in the morning, they're not going to be like, hey, Jace, what's your favorite color? You know,
Oh, well,
I'm like,
the
I'll
color,
get that.
favorite color, like, no, but
But if
that's
they're like,
why
hey, Jace, I'm dying, like,
Well,
you would probably call.
I mean, I would call 911 first
Okay. Well,
before, calling you to let you
Okay,
know.
well.
But
It's like dying of happiness.
I think you have to like limit. I look at my screen time just like Jenna.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
I really try. The last couple of months have been kind of like everything out the door
Mhm.
because
yeah.
of the situation we're in, and like there's not much for somebody that's not working right now.
yeah.
That's at
Not at
home. Like I
school.
can only work out a certain amount of time. Like go
You're
on
like, I need-
walks. Like go on a drive. Like
Yeah.
what else
There's not
is there
much to do.
for me to do?
Yeah.
So that's how I find myself like sitting and passing the day, which is so sad
Passing
to like.
the day.
But
Yeah.
like it is really sad to like think of,
Hmm.
and it's really sad to like go through the day and be like, I don't have a like my job is not working right now,
Yeah.
and I have no control over it.
Yeah.
And I've even talked about like, oh, maybe like talking to my parents, like maybe I should go back to school. Like
Hmm.
I have nothing to major in. I don't
Yeah.
have to do it for my career, but like I need something to do.
Taking the next-
like
yeah.
I just
to do
need
something.
like an assignment. I need like a purpose, and that's where it's hard. And like, have you? I'm interested in if you guys heard of it. It's the Hard 75
Yes.
challenge.
No.
Read 10 pages a day, do two
Yeah.
45-minute workouts and a gallon of water.
So there's a certain
What?
like
I
there's
know all
this
about
challenge, and it's on TikTok, so
Of
that's probably
course,
why
yeah.
Jace hasn't have seen it. But he has a podcast also, and he talks about
What's
it.
his name?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I've only
I'll
seen
look it
like other people talk about it, and they've shown their 75 days, and it's pretty much a challenge. And I don't. Jenna probably knows more, but there's some substance of reading 10 pages of something, drinking a gallon of water, sticking to a certain diet.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do plant-based, if you want to do keto, if you want to do like vegan, anything,
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
or you can just continue like the diet that you're pretty much on. Exercising 2 times a day, and it has to total 45 minutes.
Each exercise has to be 45 minutes long.
So it's an hour and a half of
Yeah,
exercise.
exercise.
but
in
one
one
has
day.
to be outside and one
Do
can
they
be
have
inside.
3 kids?
I don't know.
Okay.
But it's interesting because a lot of people like on the social media that I've seen are like, this is like the purpose that I have right now.
Hmm.
Like 10 pages a day, and you have to do it for 70 days, or
75.
and if you miss it, you have to restart.
Yeah.
So people are like, this is keeping me accountable. I'm over here crossing out, and he has an app, and you can cross out on the app.
Hmm.
And it's like, wow, we're at this level that like drinking a gallon of water.
If I don't
an
like stay productive like throughout the day, or if I'm just like on my phone all day, I won't sleep good at night. So for me, it's like if I don't like get up and like work out, or if I don't get up and just like have like a conversation with somebody, I'm not gonna sleep good.
So the one thing you missed was take a photo of yourself every single day.
Yes. To keep a progress.
Yeah, it's for your progress, and I think it's supposed to help with like your mental stability, like in like your health. It's
how you see yourself, I think.
Yeah, and it like challenges with, I think, the reading the 10 pages a day. It's supposed to challenge like your mental health and like to better it. I'm pretty sure, if I remember looking at it right. But I've seen people's like progress, like videos and stuff on it. There is a change physically, but you can also tell that there's a change mentally, and like where they could start from like the rock bottom in the beginning, and you could tell they're much happier and healthier now where they are. Yeah.
I think that would be actually, that's actually really good. You know, that's a really good one. I'll bring that up with Stacy. See if she. I know we want to get into a. I don't know if you guys have seen on Amazon. It's World's Toughest Race. It's an eco challenge.
I think I've heard of it.
So it's like that. We would love to do that like in 10 years. Like once we get all.
I think I saw a commercial on that. Is it like
Bear Grylls?
Yeah.
What? It's really cool. Look it up.
It's really
look
cool.
it up.
Yeah.
Anybody looking it up and everything. Okay. So I think like we have to wrap this up too. It's like I think a big thing for our internet usage is making sure like we put the phone down and are able to, or internet down or whatever, and able to go outside, and be able to like, you know, one thing I always tell people is like, we live in this is one of the most beautiful places in the world. Like if people came here from all around the world, they would just be like, wow, like Paseo, you know, you go down off by the cliffs, you go down to like Torrance, you go down, like I always think Torrance is one of the most, you guys think Huntington and some people are in Newport or whatever. I honestly think Torrance is more beautiful, and everybody's gonna be like, no, it's because you've lived here all your life, you know.
We get so adjusted to it.
I went to Huntington Beach growing up my entire life, and the moment I came to Torrance, I was like, this is one of the most beautiful beaches. Like I've been to Hawaii and Jamaica and all of that, and those are gorgeous, you know, but it's like Torrance is a beautiful beach, and it's like all of these different places, and so it's like being able to go outside, like, and so one of my challenges that I want to challenge all of us, and I want to challenge everybody listening, is like today and for the next 10 days, 75 days. No, the next 10 days or a couple, actually just do it for today and then see if you like it. But it's like go out for 10 minutes and just be outside. Leave your phone inside and just walk by yourself. Don't have anybody with you. Just do like only by yourself, because some of the hardest things for us to do is be by ourselves.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I like that challenge.
Ending thoughts? What do you guys think?
I think just take a break from the makeup reality that's on your phone and to step into your real world and connect with people that you are come into day-to-day contact with and get to know them in a deeper light.
Yeah. Dive in. So everybody, thank you guys for being here and diving into this podcast. We have a lot more podcasts to come. If you guys have anything you want to hear about, please send it our way. Any comments, all that kind of stuff. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Holy Trinity Life Teen. You can follow us on Instagram at lifeteen_HT and follow our podcast. So God bless. See you guys soon.
Deuces.